who should know
The
better, who
West.
find it difficult, unpopular, or just plain embarrassing to defend capitalism. I take the opposite view. We should double down on it for a very
Strong.
simple reason. It remains not just the best, but the only chance for the least fortunate in the world to make life better for themselves and their children. And the more we see of capitalism's rival, socialism, the more proof we have that capitalism is the way we want to go.
Um, that's an interesting thought. Let's keep going.
I've seen this over and over again, from my own childhood to my time as governor of South Carolina to most recently and most dramatically during my tenure as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. I grew up in South
Did you also
Carolina
get
as the
fired
daughter
from
of
that
Indian
job?
immigrants. My mom started a small shop selling clothes and gifts that grew into a successful business. She showed my brothers, my sister, and me what it meant to live the American dream. As my mother's story so vividly illustrates, America is a country where people can find jobs that match their talents and passions. Some Americans take this for granted. The rest of the world envies it.
I really
As
don't.
governor of South Carolina,
Hold on. Just sharing this. I don't think as many people take it for granted as she likes to mention. A lot of people are trying to live their best life and very happy to live in America. And it's not about taking it for granted. They want basic human rights that are afforded to most countries, to most people, which is still capitalism, mind you, just a better capitalism. Sweden, Norway, these people would love to tell you that it's socialist when it ideally suits them. But then you say, well, it's capitalist. They'll tell you it's socialist. You tell them, well, it's social. They'll tell you it's actually capitalist. Very convenient. It is capitalist. And most people are not arguing for a full socialist takeover. They're just arguing for better healthcare, better education, all of which can be done in a capitalist society. So, what is she getting at?
I marveled at capitalism's power to improve lives. Our pro-free market policies helped bring in more than $20 billion in investment and created jobs in every county of the state. Those jobs provide dignity
How many
and
jobs?
purpose. And as I often say,
Where's your
when you
scientific
give
method
a
on that
person a
dignity and
job,
purpose?
you take care of a family. During my time as the U.S. ambassador
Yes, South Carolina, the pinnacle of financial prowess. Yes, exactly.
to the UN, I was reminded that not every country enjoys the same freedom and prosperity as America. More than 1.5 billion people
Really
still
now?
suffer under socialist regimes.
What did you just call socialist? Interesting. Interesting. So, these are all socialist regimes, I take it. Interesting, by the way, that they chose the Black Lives Matter symbol. Kind of weird. Kind of odd that they choose the Black Lives Matter symbol, or the sign most attributed to Black Lives Matter movement, as a socialist. To be fair, there is a little bit of mix on that symbol, sure. Still a little weird. Cuba, sure. China, incorrect. China is a capitalist country, but okay, hold on. This is my views on this. Oh, sorry. I'm so bad at that sometimes. So, first off, the Black Lives Matter symbol that I was basically talking about. Apparently that. No, and that's what I was going to say, is like there is definitely a mix there. So I will give them that, but it seems a little virtue signally to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but seems a little virtue signaling. But also look that we have Cuba. Okay, you could actually call Cuba socialist, or at least an intermittent vanguard party. Sure. You have China, which is state capitalist. Yeah, no, for sure it does change it a bit. And I think that's kind of what they're getting at. Because let's face it, a lot of the viewers that are watching this are going to be thinking about Black Lives Matter when they look at that. I mean, am I wrong there? I believe this is Vietnam. I'm not gonna say I'm a geography expert. I do know that this is China. But that's kind of what I wanted to point out. I knew that they were going to bring up a capitalist institution. Vietnam is not necessarily even a great example. I believe, is that Korea? I don't know. I could pull up the geography of this later. This one. It's always this. Call it something else. We'll bring up something else. And then we'll complain that it's not real and gaslight. That wasn't real socialism. Ah, no, you are right. That is the subcontinent, isn't it? That's India right there, isn't it? Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Place that was a colonial. But no, by the way, I love that these guys are basically literally bringing up the real argument. This wasn't real socialism. That wasn't real communism. How many failures must civilization endure before the left's utopian vision becomes real? Seems like when an ideology runs counter to human nature. It's human nature to be greedy. It's human nature for me to take the money out of people's pockets. It's human nature. Yeah, no, fuck off. Dude, that is literally just making an excuse for your own shit behavior. I'm Venezuelan. I can sadly confirm what you say. Thank you, Ambassador, for telling our truth. Ambassador? Oh, all right. That's Nikki Haley. God bless you. Oh. Okay.
Regimes. In 2018, I stood on the Simon Bolivar Bridge at the border of Venezuela and Colombia. I watched thousands of Venezuelans cross into Colombia for the only meal they might have that day. I held a beautiful baby girl.
Moonbat
Her
Chan.
mother told me all she wanted for her daughter was a future of freedom. They were one of millions of Venezuelan families whose lives have been destroyed by the country's socialist policies. So
by the country's socialist policies that we had to embargo and, refuse to give them any money because they were socialist. Just like, like those terrible countries like Chile that had a dictator. I don't know if you know. They had a socialist. I mean, they were democratically elected, but then all of a sudden, a dictator, a right-wing fascist came out of nowhere. I mean, we had CIA agents there, but it was nowhere.
Imagine
exactly. It is the YouTube that is law. It is true.
American socialists claim they seek a more enlightened socialism, like those found in Scandinavian countries.
Sorry. I knew it was coming. I'm sorry for the ear repay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. But no, I knew this had a more enlightened socialism. Bitch, that is not socialism. We know this. We know this. We don't care. We know. Yes. So, okay. The more enlightened socialism, quote unquote capitalism. Here it is again. It's weird how much conservatives complain about capitalism under the guise of it being socialism. It is not enlightened socialism. It is a social democracy. Sorry. I'm so sorry about the headphone users in chat. I'm in a mood. Like I said, I'm a few beers in. It's not socialism. Do the workers own the means of production? Production? No. Okay. Let's move beyond this point. We know this. And then we know the argument, right? Okay. Let's do something like this. No, that's socialism. Okay. Then let's do something like Scandinavian because, well, that's not real socialism. Okay, let's do that. Okay. No, that's socialism. Yeah. Okay. We know.
But those countries are not socialist. They're capitalist and offer large welfare benefits.
I mean, Drew, we can get on that because, I mean, it comes down to, who's doing what for. Those countries also are very exploitative. Let's be real, right? There's more real opportunity in these countries. I think a big thing that comes up is often, well, there's no minimum wage in these countries. Well, yeah, but they have real union representation, okay? So when it comes to the workers, which are majority white, it is Sweden and Norway. When it comes to these workers in these countries, yes, they are more represented. They have better lives. They are living better. But let's not also fool ourselves. They are also benefiting from economic imperialism. Okay. So, I mean, and this was a big part of communism worldwide. And why the idea was you're not getting, thank you, baby, a true communist state or a true socialist state until the whole world has changed. Right. And so that's what needs to happen. But baby steps, right? I mean, let's face it. Would a SOCDEM, socialist democratic state, be better overall than what we have now? Pragmatic answer is yes. Of course. Of course it would be. Obviously, still, though, a lot of black and brown people in other countries would still suffer, though. That is the larger question. Not question, but, well, the larger question of how we solve that whole. But one step at a time. But I agree. These countries are not perfect by any means.
But ironically, to make their system work, they've had to repeatedly slash their corporate tax rates. Denmark has cut its corporate rate by more than half since the 1990s.
And they actually do have more billionaires per capita. Weird. Especially since, okay, cool, their corporate tax rates are down. But we also know that their individual tax rates are higher. Okay.
Other democracies,
do that,
including
then.
Israel, India, and the UK, experimented with socialism.
Were they not socialist? Is not what they... Oh, I guess that's what they're saying right here.
Socialism. Only to a...
Hold on. Did any of you guys clip that? Because you should have.
Democracy!
To democracy! Anyways. Sorry.
Abandon it. And only then
Didn't
did they
know.
thrive. The
Didn't know
results
about
are
the
in
British Socialist
socialism,
Republic. Sorry, I just didn't know.
however you want to define it, has failed everywhere
It
it's
is,
been
honestly.
tried.
No, you're not wrong. I try to be careful. You know, like, you don't want to aestheticize the Soviets because it's the same thing that the fascists do. But I won't lie. That's some good music.
A
Thank you.
handful of
It's my
elites sitting in a government
unwavering
office
salute.
can never outthink millions of business owners and consumers making millions of individual choices every moment of every day. You'd think we'd have gotten the message by now. An entire generation of American adults are too young to remember the suffering socialism caused during the last century.
You mean capitalism because you're talking about China, mainly because that's who you really hate. But that's what you're talking about. Or Venezuela, who we embargoed. Again, generally these people that suffered were people that chose their leaders democratically until America said that they shouldn't have done that.
Instead of teaching students to reject our country's history and founding ideas,
Ears. This is Nazi shit. What does she mean by rejecting our country's history?
schools should have a required class on the history and collapse of the Soviet Union. Young people at least have the excuse of being miseducated. But what does one say about corporate CEOs who give in to social trends rather than standing up for a system that their own businesses and workers depend on? I'm talking about advocates of so-called stakeholder capitalism, a philosophy that retains the word capitalism but abandons its meaning.
No. So stakeholder capitalism is something that's been a little trendy amongst some new firms that are just capitalist. I mean, what she calls capitalism is not just capitalism. Stakeholder capitalism goes into this idea of like a more kinder capitalism, but it is just capitalism and is not even social democracy. It's about, owning more for a capitalism for the consumer, which is so in the first place. It's still capitalism. It's not. I mean, it's not socialism for sure. And what she's even saying, what she was comparing things, like I mentioned, it's weird how much conservatives complain about capitalism under the guise of it being socialism. Like what we were talking about yesterday, about PC culture, they're getting rid of everyone, they're doing this. Well, why are you complaining about capitalism? That's what's better for the bottom line. That's how they make money. That is what they're doing. Obviously, these are not woke companies. Ben Shapiro called Disney a woke company, which is patently ridiculous. She's going to go into this. It's going to be sounding like a nice, softer capitalism, but it is plenty just capitalism. And I agree. Yeah, no, exactly. These are, like you just said, these are people that rag on education, destroy education. They have no care for it. They think that charter schools are the supposed way to go. And I do, by the way, find it very sad that you, like you said, that your ex-girlfriend didn't know about the Japanese internment camps. Trust me, I've been there too. Like, I've met people that, like, I brought up Hitler before and they didn't even know who, like, oh, is that some guy like the World War or whatever? Like, it is amazing how much people don't, like, care or know. And they've been taught not to. It's really, really sad. And I didn't, I'm not saying I'm smart or special. Obviously, I'm not smart. This is not. Like, this is, like, the bare minimum. We're at a very sad space in this country because of what we've done to education.
Recently, the chief executives of some of America's largest companies changed their self-definition. They said companies should focus on customers, workers, and communities.
How dare they?
This is just politically correct nonsense.
They shouldn't care about the people that they are providing for. Politically correct nonsense to make what people care for. Dude, that is literally capitalism. There's nothing special about this. This is quite literally capitalism to a T. Okay? So this idea that, that this is somehow even special or different is insanity. Because the fact is they're going to do whatever they need to do to sell more product. No, this is literally the definition of capitalism. Shut the fuck up, Nikki Haley.
These CEOs know that's what successful businesses already do.
Oh,
it's
okay.
What they have to do to survive.
So it's not nonsense. That's just good capitalism. Okay, keep on going. Stop contradicting yourself and being really fucking stupid.
In our capitalist system. A company that cheats its customers, mistreats its workers, and abuses its community won't be around long. Profits are...
Hold on. Rewind the tape.
Cheats its customers, system. It's what they have to do to survive in our capitalist system. A company that cheats its customers, mistreats its workers, and abuses its community won't be around long. Profits...
You mean except for Walmart and every big giant chain that exists that cheats its customers and abuses its employees? Okay, cool. Whatever. Yeah, no. True. Yeah, Amazon, where people piss in bottles where they work.
Are what keep a business going and allow it to thrive. They generate the funds needed for more job creation. You don't need an advanced economics degree to understand this. So...
hold on.
Business going and allow it to thrive. They generate the funds needed for more job creation.
How do they generate funds? Who, when you say these companies? The workers who produce the things that are made that are then sold? No, because that's not what you mean, is it, Nikki? Because what she means is the CEOs, the powerful job creators. Except that she forgets to mention the fact that when they make something, you can have the best idea out there. And I'm going to make 5 of them, and I'm going to sell them, and they're going to be so great and so expensive and so phallic. Ugh. The money involved be so good. Except that'll get me 3 months rent. Cool. So I want to expand. How do I expand? Well, I need workers to do that. Okay, so I get some workers and I pay them. And then they build it, and they build it better, and they build it faster. And then they sell it. Or, excuse me, well, I sell it, or I send it off to my salesman to sell it. But it wouldn't have gotten there, ever, without the labor involved. And that this is what socialists always bring up, right? Is the labor involved. Because you can have the best idea ever, but it doesn't matter if there's no one else creating it, building it, working for it to be made. Yes, they can have the $1 billion idea. Where's the $1 billion labor? Like this idea that like it's all the brain power. Dude, I don't give a fuck what Elon Musk didn't do shit. All he's ever done is buy other companies from other people. Okay. Most CEOs do this. It's nothing special. Some sure might have a great idea, but doesn't mean that somebody else wouldn't. Mind you, communism when no iPhone, right? But except it was the Soviet Union that built the first cell phone. It was the Soviet Union who first went to space. It was the U.S. government that made the first touch screen. It wasn't Steve Jobs who made the first touch screen. It wasn't Steve Jobs who made the first cell phone. It wasn't Steve Jobs who made the first computer. It was the government. Just like the government made the epinephrine pen. Or, insulin. That we then mark up higher and higher at an exorbitant rate. And we're not charging for the labor, are we? I might need you to clarify that statement. Just because I'm a little confused. You said if we make money, we can give you jobs, so it's barely being fed to you as if you're below the business owner class. I've been a few beers in. This may not be you. It very well could be me. You're saying the money is being kind of like fed to you as if you're like below the billion, like that class?
You don't need an advanced economics degree to understand this.
Yes, you do.
So why are these
Because this
CEOs
is
so angry?
some random ass bullshit that an economics degree would show you that is real fucking stupid. Except for that shit's really fucking indoctrinated as well.
Anxious to embrace this in-name only capitalism? Probably because they think they need to.
In-name only capitalism is when they care about what the consumer wants. That's in-name only. Really interesting what you consider to be capitalism, Nikki Haley.
Placate the noisemakers on the socialist left. But that's a fool's game. The left.
Are you saying that it's the best way to do it is to make the best product? Not even the best product, honestly, because let's face it, customers don't know what they want. because customers don't matter because fuck a stakeholders capitalism. No, not the one where the workers work hard and make it so that the person who made the quote unquote idea that he probably stole from some government project, money. No, it's when the one guy who came up with a idea, who then sold it, got some other people, made them work at extremely low wages. It's when that person, sorry, hold on, mic issues. It's when that person, you got to make sure you exploit them. That is true capitalism. That's what the left is afraid of. You need to be on top. You need... Don't worry where you're at. You're going to be exploited. I know. You're just my little exploited boo. It's okay. Hold on. Because it takes me forever to go through this shit. One day, you're going to be the guy that exploits the person. Don't worry. I know. I know you like beaten up. Don't say that you're a cook. It's okay. Take your little spanking. Take your little leather whips, daddy. It's all good. Damn. Memes. Hold on. I'm going to find these. There it is, right there. Cool. All right, now I'll look at your message while you get to look at this beautiful screen. Okay, so the way that they're sending the information, there's a clear line drawn between the owner and the employee class. Yeah, no, for sure. And the business owners are painted to look like the victim. Yep. But also the savior. No, for sure. This is, by the way, a normal thing in fascism. You both have to be weak and strong at the same time. As if to say, give us, the business owner, money so we can save you, the worker, by providing jobs. And you'll give us the money by buying our product, the perfect worker consumer as defined by Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos. No, I get what you're saying. No, agreed. Please tread on me. Hold on real quick. Just checking on something on co-op. Or excuse me, co-op. Discord. All right. Kinky snake, indeed. Please tread on me, daddy. Ooh, ooh. Clip that. That, and I need the me saluting to the Russian anthem and the British flag. I'll get that, don't worry.
Is never satisfied. So let's defend what works. And what works is capitalism. Until the unforeseeable shutdown of the economy.
What works? I will admit that capitalism has brought a lot of people out of poverty since feudalism, but that does not mean that it's continuing to work now.
As a response to the coronavirus, it was working better than ever. Unemployment was at a 50-year low. Wages were rising at the fastest rate in a decade.
Since that started
More
when
women
Obama
and
was in,
minorities
but
were working than
whatever.
ever before. Poverty was at a record low in America. Let's get back to that as quickly as possible. There's only one way to do it: capitalism. I'm Nikki Haley for Prager University.
There's only one way to do it, and that's the way that we've been doing forever. After we've stopped socialism from ever happening by, war, death, and, secret police squads. That's the only way to do it, folks. I'm Nikki Haley.
Thank you for watching this video. To keep PragerU videos free, please consider making a tax-deductible donation.
A tax-deductible donation. What the fuck are they? A church? Be sure to like, subscribe, send it to your friend's butthole, your friend's, mouth, whatever you want. Send this stream wherever you'd like. If only my girlfriend would chat and stream. No, exactly. It's absolutely a dog-eat-dog system. It doesn't care about anybody else. It's not for anybody else. It's literally just about the guy that's in charge to fuck everyone else.